welcome back to my channel. Happy holidays! If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas! Today, in this episode of Squishy Doctor, we have this beach that is in very bad shape. And since I'm feeling so festive, and I have been feeling so festive for the last couple of videos, today we're going to do another holiday commercial related Squishy Doctor makeover. So obviously you see that this beach is in really bad shape. It has rips, it has tears, it has holes. I mean, there's like a bunch of stuffing missing from the middle of the peach. Ugh. All right, let's get started. So first things first, yes, this is still stuffing from the cat burger that Lola kind of ripped apart. So I'm going to use some of the stuffing to clear up that hole that it has in between, and a lot of fabric glue. And as I'm putting this fabric glue in, I realized that I need more stuffing, and so I kind of go in and take some of that glue and mix it in and try to close it up and put more glue and put more stuffing and repeat until it is completely filled. Once I'm happy with that, I'm gonna put a rubber band / hair tie to hold it together. I do know that there's a lot of other rips and tears, so I'm going to address those as well. The difficulty level for this was definitely like a 4, just because it was missing so much stuff. So here you see me trying to close up all of the tears with some fabric glue and my scrunchie. Once it dried, it was not enough. So I had to go back and use that horrible, disgusting fabric paint to go over some of the cracks as well. I like that the fabric glue keeps it together, but did that sound like glue? Because I meant glue. Well, and I'm gonna go back to do this. Now, in the meantime, I'm gonna use some of this orange stuffing also, which is really squishy and slow rising. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just put it together. A straight line just so I can make it into that white fluff of a hat. I also cut a little tip for the top of the hat, and I'm going to address it later. I just want to ignore it for now. So here I'm going to use a lot of red paint, and when I say a lot of red paint, like I went overboard. I think between this and maybe like the mermaid squishy, which if you haven't seen, I'm gonna link it below so you guys can check it out. It's pretty much almost finished. I mean, it does need it though because of the texture of the top. It is very rough. It has a lot of breakage, so I do need a lot of it to cover it up. I just wish I would have done maybe thinner layers and more layers, but just thinner. Trying to clean this up took a little while, but here it is. I cleaned up my mess, and I just gotta blend it in well. I ended up doing 2 coats of this, but the line was pretty easy. When you have the right tool or brush, then it's a lot easier. And then with the traveling paintbrush, I'm going to just dab on the green. Now this green is a mixture from the zombie green that I used with another like pine green, and it's very Grinchy. And I did this at night. I think you can kind of tell that it's getting really dark outside, but I was committed. So this is after the first coat. It looks great, but look, it's still rough in texture even though I put so much paint, and it's still super squishy and slow rising. I'm missing like the little bit of paint on that edge because that's where I was holding it from, but don't worry, I'll get to it. I always do that. I leave like one little piece where I'm holding it and then do it at the end. So I'm going to take my white fabric paint and I'm just going to drop it all in there. Remember, I want this to be like nice and fluffy, so the texture has to be right. And it takes me like 3 coats of this, and then I realize that I give up, and so I have to find another way to make it even more fluffy and, aesthetically like I want. And I'm just gonna smother it and let it sit. Then I'm going to do the second coat of paint, and I was a lot less generous this time around just because I learned. You see, I'm a fast learner. I learned from my mistakes. And I'm going to dab it all over. And I'm going to do the same with the green, and I would just try to be careful with the edges. I want that piece where I'm going to glue on the white, like cottony strip for the hat, to not have that much paint because I want it to adhere exactly like on the squishy. Now I'm ready for the eyes, and I'm just going to take my dotting tool and I'm going to press it down. It did not come out perfect the first time you see this. It comes out a little bit smaller, so I have to actually go back and adjust it, but this always happens. You just kind of have to adjust it until you're happy with it. Now the Grinch has a lot of distinct features, and one of them is like his really big eyebrows. They're very like expressive. And so I wanted to bring that here, but I don't know how to draw eyebrows. So what I did is I just gave him really big lashes instead. And here I start with the middle lash just so that I know where to place the other two. I know this sounds weird, but for me, that's the way that it works. Once I hit the middle, it's much, much better. And then I'm gonna draw another one and a little tiny one on the top. And then I kind of fan them out. It is a learning process. You know, you kind of just gotta see where you have it that you like. And I'm gonna do the same for the other eye. So I must say, you must be so proud of me because my upload schedule is actually back on track. Let me know in the comments below what makeovers do you want to see next, or what DIY videos you're interested in, so that, you know, I can get to your requests. Now, once I finish the eyes, I'm going to do a little dot for the nose. It's like a little oval and just a straight line down. Another feature that the Grinch has, it has that big, big, mean smile, and then it turns into like a nice smile. So today, it's gonna be a nice smile. So I begin by marking out where my beginning is going to be and where like the edge of the smile is going to end, and then I'm just gonna bring those two together. Now I'm gonna do this two ways. I'm going to do this with my dotting tool, just so that if it's easier for you to use something like a toothpick, or if you have a dotting tool or like an object like this, you can see that you can also do it and it's not hard at all. You kind of just gotta go back, and if it's a paintbrush, a very thin paintbrush, then you don't have to worry about it. And you can always go back with a clean paintbrush and clean up any of the edges. The other way that I am thinking of doing this is going to be with my puffy fabric paint. And I should have also marked it, but I didn't. And I end up doing one of the sides a little too high. And so I take it out and I go back and fix it, and there it is, all fixed, like if it never happened. Now I'm going to do the little catch lights just because his face is so chibi and kawaii, and I'm going to do the catch lights that go with that face. I think catch lights go with all faces. And now I'm going to use some of my fabric glue and put on the white stuffing for the hat. I realized that the coats weren't enough, so what I did is I used some of that white puffy paint fabric glue, and I went over it with that also. And I'm happy with how it came out. I feel like it's very textured and it looks very cottony. Now this is not completely finished. I do go back and trim and adjust, and remember how I told you I hate holding stuff? I've held this in my hands forever, but look at the outcome. Oh, it's so cute. I think I'm getting so much better as the videos go along. And for those of you that are like, you never squish your squishies, here you go. It is so slow rising. I absolutely love it. Even the little pom-pom is slow rising, and the white fluff is slow rising. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments below if you like this Grinch Squishy Doctor makeover.